Welcome to Live, life-inspired views for every day. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul. I'm going to tell you two stories that I treasure. Here's the first one that I found in the book Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. Terry Dobson was one of the first Americans to study the martial art of Aikido. One day as he sat on a bus in Japan, a drunk man came in swinging his arms and knocking over a woman and her child. Terry felt the need to do something to prevent anyone else from getting hurt. But in his mind, he heard the words of his teacher who said, Aikido is the art of reconciliation. Whoever has the mind to fight has broken his connection with the universe. If you try to dominate people, you are already defeated. We study how to resolve conflict, not how to start it. So, slowly, Terry stood up. As he did, the drunk roared, Aha! A foreigner! You need a lesson in Japanese manners! And he started toward Terry, ready to fight. Suddenly, from another part of the bus came a high voice of another Japanese man. Hey, hey, said the cheery small little man in a kimono. Come over here, come here. The drunk man went over, intending to pounce on the small man. But the happy old man said, What you been drinking? The drunk replied, Sake. And before he could say any more, the little man started cheerily telling him how much he liked sake too, and how he and his wife would heat the drink and sit in the garden and sip it together as they talked in the evening. Then he added, I'm sure you have a wonderful wife. But the drunk man told him, No, my wife died. He said this and began to sob. While Terry Dobson left the bus, he heard the tiny man ask the drunk to join him for tea so he could hear all about it. When Terry looked back, he saw the drunk laying across the seat, sobbing with his head in the little man's lap. The second story happened in a South African courtroom after apartheid ended in 1994. A South African woman stood in the courtroom listening to white police officers acknowledge their atrocities against her family. Officer Vanderbroek acknowledged that he, along with others, had shot her 18-year-old son point blank and then partied while they burned her son's body, leaving just his ashes. 8 years later, Vanderbroek and others returned to seize her husband. She was forced to watch as they tied him to a woodpile and ignited the flames. The last words she heard her husband say were, Forgive them. Now Vanderbroek awaited judgment. South Africa's Truth Reconciliation Commission asked the woman what she wanted. I want 3 things, she said calmly. I want Mr. Vanderbroek to take me to the place where they burned my husband's body so I can gather his ashes and give him a proper burial. Second, Mr. Vanderbroek took all my family away from me, and I still have a lot of love to give. Twice a month, I would like him to come to the ghetto and spend a day with me so I can be a mother to him. Third, I would like Mr. Vanderbroek to know that he is forgiven by God, and I forgive him too. I would like to embrace him so he knows that my forgiveness is real. As the elderly woman was led across the courtroom, Vanderbroek fainted, overwhelmed. And then someone began singing Amazing Grace. Gradually, everyone joined in. I'm taking an online course through Rotary right now called the Positive Peace Academy. In one of the modules, I learned this statement that filled me with hope. Humanity is intrinsically relational. Well, I learned through my research into resiliency that every living thing is coded with the ability to be resilient, from plants to animals to humans. It's instinctive. Well, that statement says that the same thing goes for relationships. It is instinctive to seek relationships. Martin Luther King Jr. had 2 powerful quotes. One is, I have decided to stick to love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. And the other is, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. My dad always said, relationships are everything. They are not one thing amongst many things. They are everything. We can't form both sides of the relationship, but we can form our side. And through love and forgiveness, it will affect the other as well. This week, put relationships are everything on your bathroom mirror. And then join me next Monday for L.I.V.E, Life-Inspired Views for Every Day. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul.